So please welcome Manuel Bohé, Senior Cyber Security Consultant and the founder and CEO of Concepture Group, and Lukas Sökefeld, a cybersecurity consultant and certified ethical hacker. Over to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Hello, Tapper. I always wanted to be here last year, actually. Thorsten and I, we had a good conversation about Tapper. Actually, I didn't know what Tapper was about a couple of years ago, and but last year you decided for another hacker, so someone else was at the conference, and I thought this time we might do something different. We might just ask what you want, and you came up with, oh, Manuel, I would like to have this this magical device. You need to do something with this device. This is a Flipper Zero, and you love it, as far as I learned, yeah, right? You did, you do. And we played around with it quite a bit.
Yes, yes.
We knew it before, of course, but from our perspective, to be honest, it's just a small toy. You can do funny things with it. I could actually copy your room key card from your hotel room, and I could go to your room, but why should I want to do this? I could have yours or yours. I could just walk around and copy key cards and maybe do some fancy things with other access control stuff, and this could be interesting for you as well. But honestly, it was a little boring to play around with that thing. So we were on the lookout if this one has if there's something bigger to do, something more we can do. And so we found his bigger sister, Hacker 1, and we played around with that one. And this one has completely other capabilities. It's huge. And playing around with that, we finally got to a point where we found out that we can actually attack global positioning systems. So GPS. We could actually just go and say, if you have your cargo in front of this conference hall, and we could simulate that it goes from here to, you would actually you would think that it goes from Düsseldorf to Berlin, and it's on its way to Berlin, and we could simulate that it does so, but it isn't. Actually, it's on its way to Amsterdam, and your SOC teams won't recognize that. So this is something we found out, and we're going to present, but this is not all.
Not all, right? Yes, this is the last topic. So big highlight at the end, but I think we'll start a little bit slower.
We need to warm up first.
Yeah, warm up, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're starting with QR codes.
Yeah, we do. I just wanted to go before we talk about these QR codes. Maybe you know QR codes. You're familiar with QR codes. Most of you, I suppose. I'll see if something. Just going to tell you something about the picture we had before. Don't go back, Lukas. The picture we had before was Lukas and me being at DEF CON in Las Vegas. We got invited there to give a speech about our last hack, and here we got someone. Now, great. So you just scanned the QR code, and the light is a little intense, so I can't see it. But usually, people when they see a QR code, and I've seen some of you people with your mobile phones. You too. You had your mobile phone up. I saw it. I saw you. You just scanned the QR code. And that's interesting. Why do you do that? This is dangerous. You can't just scan any QR code. It's a dangerous thing, isn't it?
Yes, we'll show it to you. But first, I would say we should clear the basics and start. What is a QR code? So a QR code stands for a quick response code. I think all of you know it. They are very flexible, easy to scan, so you don't need a fixed angle, so from any position you're able to scan a QR code. A QR code can store a lot of information, more than a barcode. For example, a text or a URL to a website. Important factor here is only one information could be stored. So when you scan a QR code redirecting you to a website, only one website is in this QR code. And they even work if this QR code is damaged. So if there's some rubbish on it or it's a little bit destroyed, the QR code still works. Up to 30% of the code could be damaged. So keep this in mind for the later attack. And of course, QR codes working contactless. So while there was this COVID pandemic, the QR codes were everywhere. And as Manuel said, the QR codes could be dangerous. They are not readable for humans. So if you see this QR code, you could not tell it, is it redirecting me to Google or to evilhacker.com? You need to scan it. It's not human readable. And so it's used for different kinds of attacks, for example, these phishing attacks or malware download attacks, or even for misinformation campaigns it could be used. We'll give you some examples for these attacks. First is the misinformation attack vector. You see it in February, there were these elections here in Germany, federal elections, and the party SPD, they had like QR codes on their banners, and yeah, if you would like to spread misinformation, just print your own QR code, tap it there, and the audience will be fooled. So this is misinformation. Hopefully you could...
That's an interesting one. It's actually not very good readable. I suppose the QR code won't work either, but what it actually is, it's an email, right?
Yes, it was a phishing email I got some years ago, and this email does not contain a phishing link. You click on it, no. This one had been filtered out. No, this one had a QR code in it. And I was, okay, QR code. And the first reflex was, using my smartphone and scan this code. But basically it was just a phishing link. And so QR codes could be used in phishing emails. And
just to stick here a little bit, because I find this really interesting. Because in our security awareness trainings, you all train your people to really look precisely at the links. So if there is a link in an email, people are trained, or you even check the URL letter by letter. Is this legit? Is this a trustworthy source, or is it not? So you go through the link letter by letter and check it. But you can't do this with a QR code. So if there's a QR code, you just like, here's the QR code.
And don't forget, you are trained to scan QR codes. When there's a two-factor authentication, you always had to scan QR codes. While there was Corona with a QR code, okay, scan it at
absolutely.
Some kind of...
Two-factor authentication, that's really an interesting point, because we think that's secure. I heard of people telling me, I got this, we use this for phishing trainings as well, so people react like, I thought this was a two-factor authentication, so this is really secure. This is just a phishing mail. So it leads you to a website where you are asked to enter your credentials, your username and your password, and it looks like your company page, and this is really dangerous. So 2FA can actually be quite misleading in sometimes.
And yes, all of you will stay in a hotel somewhere, and or even here at the conference, there might be these QR codes for Wi-Fi networks. And for me as an attacker, it's hard to get people into my evil network. But with QR codes, I just had to print a QR code for my network, place it there on these cards, and when you scan it, you're not connected to the official network, but to my evil network. So it's make my job more easy.
Actually, who's using the Wi-Fi of this conference center? Please, hands up. Nobody. Would anyone like to use it? Like, I got my cellular is not strong enough, so I would like to enter the Wi-Fi. So if yes, it would have been easy. Actually, we should have thought about that earlier. We should have printed out some sheets of paper, laid all over the place, and say free Wi-Fi, and you would probably just jump on the opportunity. All right.
But we are always the good guys. Don't forget it.
Yeah, we are. Mostly.
This was a real attack happening in Cologne and Baden-Baden. There are parking lots, and on the parking lots there are QR codes, and these QR codes are used for the payment process. So when you leave the parking lot, you go to the station, scan the QR code, and then you had to pay the bill. And attackers place their own QR codes there with a little phishing page, and steal money from persons. Not a lot, but for an attacker, it was an easy attack, just printing QR code and place it there. Much more easy than attacking devices, getting behind firewalls, etc. Just print your QR code.
And I imagine in Düsseldorf the price is quite high for parking. So if I would just want to open a new business, could look like that. I could actually just build a website, a landing page, and I would print some of these QR codes. People would scan it, and then I would actually, I'm creative, I'm a creative entrepreneur, so I would probably make some bundles and things like the whole week in Düsseldorf parking for, let's say, 50 euros or so. You pay about that, I think, in a day, maybe 25 or so. And if you have the whole week or the whole month, so you have bundles and you sell it, and people will tell it to each other. They will say, hey, have you heard? There's this QR code, and you can actually, if you scan it, you get free parking in whole Düsseldorf for the whole week or the whole month. So this is a business case. Don't take it home. I think we have got some police here. So let's do some hands-on. And you can scan this one. This one is okay. We've personally assessed it. There's no danger for you. No money will be taken away from you. Neither health or something.
Ah yes. So I encourage you to scan it. It's interesting what will happen because there are like 3 outcomes when you scan this code. So first, your QR code just won't work. When you try to scan it, the scanner app won't recognize it.
I would say just let them try. Who scanned it? Have you all scanned it? Take out your phones.
And scan it, yeah.
And just go ahead and scan it. All the phones up. Have you? You ready? Some are still busy. That's good. Looks great. Okay.
So this is a special QR code.
We should ask who.
Okay, should we ask? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So who of you is led to the TEPA website now? Please raise your hands. Who's been led to the TEPA website? Here's someone. Okay, who else? Over there. 2, 3.
Won't be such...
4 over here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm stopping counting, but there are some people. Okay, you've been to the TEPA website. That's nice.
And some will be redirected to our company website, Concepture.
Yeah, yes.
More of you. Okay. So
some of you had been at Concepture. Unfortunately, the German side, or did you switch it to English? No, you didn't. Okay. So, but you can. If you're on the Concepture website, it's a good place to be. On the right top, there you can switch language and purchase everything we have.
And some of you won't be able to recognize it. So some QR code apps stop and say, oh, this looks suspicious. It's not a valid QR code. And yeah, this is a new attack vector we discovered some weeks ago. You remember 30% of a QR code could be damaged. So there is some kind of error correction in QR codes. And this QR code looks good, but for your app, it's some kind of damaged. And your app tries to create a valid code to replace this 30% damage, and yeah, create a valid URL. And based on your sitting position, the scanning angel, you'll be redirected to different locations. And this is not an intended behavior for QR codes. As I told you some slides before, you only should be directed to one resources or to get one kind of data. And yeah, this could lead to different kind of attacks. Think of the phishing email we just showed. Phishing with QR codes has become a thing, so I think 2 or 3 years ago, and now you could use, for example, Hornet Security or your spam filter and say, we don't want any QR codes in our emails. But with this manipulated codes, your phishing won't be, this won't be detected by your phishing engine. And we tested some engines, and the code was not detected, but when we scanned it with our smartphones, we were directed to the evil web page. So QR codes could be dangerous for phishing.
So you're saying that there are solutions that prevent QR codes from coming through, like Hornet Security and others?
For example, yes.
Because they know QR codes are an attack vector, particularly for 2FA and so on. So the security industry actually knows about it. They build systems that prevent QR codes from coming through. But if you manipulate the QR code and make it malicious, then sometimes it goes through.
It will go through, yes.
That's weird.
And at least there's an attack vector we think of, for example, containers. When there are QR codes, the person there on the right, he scanned it with his phone, You see a validator, but what does your scanning device see? If this QR code is manipulated in the way we did it, this might be a different shipping location. So validating a QR code with the app is not supposed to be secure anymore.
Yeah, it can also inject malicious software. So it's usable for different
kind of attacks. Yes.
Yeah.
So now the AI part.
Artificial intelligence. Yeah. We actually, you said this yesterday. We can't go on stage without saying something about artificial intelligence. And there's really an interesting point to take. Has anybody of you heard from their IT department or IT security teams that they're saying like, actually AI is nothing that new, and you only need the same tools as ever. You need network security. You need to do this properly, of course. You need to secure your mobile devices and cloud security, of course. And of course, we do have these ISMS stuff, you know, the ISO and the standards. So we got policies in place for each and everything. So lots of paper. So we're completely secure. Has anybody of you heard something like that? An explanation? Because I do hear that quite often. Particular IT people keep telling me and saying, okay, AI is not that much of a game changer, but it is. It changes everything, and we don't know what's coming yet. So we picked up just one aspect of AI, which is deepfake. You all know that. We just picked that, but there's a whole universe of possible attacks we don't know yet.
Yes. And you might have heard of AI attacks, and in your mind you say, okay, 2 years ago, for example, this was the state of the art in the year 2023. This is a video generated by AI. It's showing Will Smith eating spaghetti. And it looks some kind of funny, and you won't be fooled with this AI video. You say, okay, if these are the deepfakes, everybody is speaking of, nothing will happen. But 2 years later, the fakes are looking this way, and they are becoming better and better and better, and they won't get worse. This is 25, and the AI fakes becoming better, but now
I want to just leave it for a sec. Is anybody hungry right now? I am. Actually, the point we're making, and this is quite important for what we're doing next. This is 2 years difference. And there had never been Will Smith on any video doing that. So it's completely computer rendered. So this is AI work, nothing more. And 2 years ago, it looked like, it wasn't taken serious by many people for a reason, because it looked just creepy. But now this is a completely other game. And so we can manipulate videos in any way. We can create videos in any way, but these are videos that are stored and need to be played. So there is no interaction with it now. And today we're going to talk about interactive
real-time, live on stage.
Real-time, live on stage videos, and that's hands-on. I need someone to volunteer on that. Yeah, someone to come on stage and help us a little out. You're looking so interested over there, and you're not so. The way isn't that far. May I ask you to come on stage? That's good. Perfect. Hi, I'm Manuel. What's your name?
Up.
Up?
Yes.
Okay, Up. Let's go over there and do some funny things. We won't record it. I think Tapper will, but we won't.
No problem.
And we won't use it. I think Tapper. No, they won't.
I will charge you for it.
Okay. So what we're doing right now is, in comparison, this is not that resolution that you saw with Will Smith in the last video. Not today. So today, this is going to look a little bit like, okay, you won't believe everything, and that this is real. It's obvious it's not. But in 2 years of time, it will be precise. So you can actually change real-time faces, and this has some huge advantages. And I don't think it comes from hackers first. It will come from people working in their home office. Is someone working in their home office quite often? Please raise your hands. All right, and then you probably know that. The meeting is early in the morning, say 8, or it might, for me it would be 9. That's early in the morning for me. And you're just finishing shower, or just stood up, or whatever you did. And you need to go to the meeting, and you need to be well-dressed, and you need to look good. So you will just, in the future, you will just sit in front of the camera, no matter how you look, because the AI will always have a great picture of you. Dress you like you want to be dressed, shave you like you want to be shaved, make your hair however you want it, and then you're going to be live in the video.
And yeah, we are working. She just took a photo of him live here on stage. You could see it. And now the photo is mapped on my face when I looked into the camera. And you see, not perfect, but in real time. And yeah, my hair is getting gray, and yeah. So this is running at about 4 or 5 frames per second. In real time on this laptop. This laptop is not connected to any Wi-Fi, so it's working locally on this machine. This is a 3-year-old MacBook, and this kind of attacks, you might have heard of it, but they needed a big data center in the cloud, a service you're paying for. But as an attacker, I don't want a service where I had to pay for, because then I'm trackable. Now I could use my old machines to generate some kind of live image videos, and here we get like 4 to 5 frames per second, but with a big machine, 50 frames per second or more are realistically.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks for being on stage. Good to see you. So, yeah, there are some really nice scenarios for I lost it. For deepfake.
Or deepfakes.
Deepfake attacks.
This is just deepfakes. We just picked this topic. There could also be audio fakes and fakes in writing style and all kinds of different attacks. But this one is, yeah, one of the attacks which is getting better and better. So 2 years ago, this attack would not be possible with my own hardware. And I'm sure in 2 years this attack will run with 20 frames per second, and the quality will be better and better and better.
Right, now that's the final part. This was actually really triggered by you, Thorsten, because we thought about what can we do with this Flipper Zero thing, and we didn't get that far as we wanted to, and then we kind of tried to understand what Tapper is, and who you people are, and what you're doing, and what type of attackers you have, and how creative they can get if there's valuable cargo. And so we thought maybe we can just steal some cargo virtually and make an impression like I said before. You have your cargo just in front of the venue here. It's a truck. It's loaded on a truck, and you expect it to go from Düsseldorf to Berlin. And your SOC team, your security operators, they will just sit in front of their screens, and everything will look fine. So they see their truck where it is and moving to Berlin in the right pace and the right time. But in reality, it's moving to Amsterdam. That was the scenario.
Yeah, but first, the basics. So I think everybody knows what is GPS. We try to spoof GPS, but you need to understand how GPS is working. So basically, GPS is a system with, I think it's there since 1980s or something. There are satellites flying around the Earth, I think 20 or 31, 32. And these satellites are sending constant signals to the Earth containing their position and the current time. And this time is very precise. And with this precise timestamp and the position of the satellite, my GPS receiver is able to triangulate the position. 4 satellites are needed for this. The 4th satellite is for the height. And yeah, so get the exact position on Earth. This process took typically 1 or 2 minutes. When you open your mobile phone, this is going to be faster because your phone caches the GPS information using Wi-Fi's for exact positions, but the Pure GPS implementations took usually 1 or 2 minutes based on your position when you are indoors. This could be more outdoor, it could be faster. Yes. So Manuel just showed the small device, the Flipper Zero, and we got a bigger one, the Hack RF1. This kind of device are called software-defined radios, which means this is a device where I could program and say, oh, okay, listen to frequency number XY or send a signal to frequency number Y. And the Flipper Zero is supporting up to 1,000 megahertz. But the slide before, you see GPS is running at 1,500, so we need a bigger device with more frequency range. And so we bought this Hack RF1. But this is not enough. You had to modify the Hack RF1 with a more precise clock. We'll show it.
So you opened it, right?
I had to open it, and I will show it. Because GPS need exact timing for this attack. And okay, so now it's the hands-on part, the critical one.
This might take a time because as Lukas said, you have these 4 satellites, and you need to the position needs to be identified precisely. So to build up the connection, it takes up to 1 to 2 minutes. Ideally, for all 4 of the satellites, from time to time it goes a little longer. But I'm trying to entertain you all the way. Let's see how that works. Manuel. Yeah. Just jump in.
Can I have my... there we go. We've got some questions coming in from the chat.
Oh, you
so
do?
maybe I'll take this opportunity to ask you those
Very well.
whilst you're doing that. Going back to the QR codes, the question came in saying, is there a way to scan QR codes in a protected sandbox, or will the site still grab data?
Say that again?
Is there a way to scan the QR codes in a protected sandbox?
It is, absolutely. So you can just translate the QR code into the URL. Or the data that's behind it, yeah, absolutely. Because there's always a URL, it's just a translation.
Okay. Offline, and talking about offline and online access issues, how can authentication be ensured if there is no constant network connection?
Authentication will happen all the time when you connect. So if the connection breaks and you open it again, it needs to re-authenticate.
Okay, I think I'm ready. You see, this is my smartphone there, the screen of my smartphone. I will switch to the camera, showing the beautiful audience there. Hi. And I will show it to you, the Hack RF1. It's this device here. And, sorry, I need to open it and connect it to my PC. Okay, so this is the open device with the better clock in it. Okay, now we'll switch to my navigation app. We will open it, and I will not have a GPS signal in here, but hopefully it will show my last GPS location in it.
Yeah, you've been outside at the venue just before the speech, right?
Yes, he's somewhere here, Düsseldorf. We are here somewhere in Düsseldorf, and he's searching for GPS. And what I'm trying to do now is using this device to spoof our location to Berlin. And I will start the attack. Okay, now he's emitting fake GPS signals with a different timestamp, so we don't need a satellite there. We're just sending the signals from this device. And yeah, this could take maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and then we hopefully see our new GPS location on the map. Or if you open your phone, maybe in the first row, second row, maybe you get this spoofed signal too. So it's about 4 or 5 meters range.
There are attack scenarios actually with a car driving behind you who can spoof your georeferencing. So it could even be more. It depends on the antenna you use.
Okay.
So we will see.
We will see. Yeah.
It did work well in the lab all the time. So we're
Not all the time.
not all the time.
Not all the time. Because there are also real signals coming in, and the phone might get dizzy. Okay, this is a one from the satellite. This one, which one has more power? Which one is the one? And
now it's jumping.
yes, we have a jump here.
We would have a backup video, but we don't want to show you the video. Actually, want to show it live.
Okay, and we are now in. You can see it. We're now in Berlin, located. Yeah, somewhere in Berlin, and not Düsseldorf anymore.
Maybe in the first row when you check where you are, it depends on which device you're using. Are you in Berlin now? No, you're not. Still here.
But my phone is in Berlin.
But the phone is in Berlin. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the first stage of attack, and now we're going back, but not back to Düsseldorf. Actually, we're going to Cologne, I would say.
Cologne is nice. Yeah. Let's go to Cologne.
Okay, still in Berlin, and we wait for the new fake signal to emit and spoof my phone. And this attack is a different one. We will just be moved to a new location. Okay, here it is.
And we have to say that, now we're in Cologne, yeah, here we are, that it's particularly hard to do it with a phone, because a phone has more than one signal. The GPS signal is one thing, but we also have Wi-Fi, we also have cellular network, so this is actually the hardest part to do. If you have only those little GPS trackers, which you put on your cargo and send it around, maybe with a cellular card within it to transmit the data, which is not combined with the censoring of location, then it will be just an easy run. So
and we are now seeing it. We are in Cologne, and the GPS position is moving across the street. So we're faking a fake movement. So we are going shopping in Cologne, and yeah, actually we are standing here, but my phone thinks I'm walking down the street and looking at the shops and moving around.
So you actually you put in some geo positions in your code, and you send it over, and you could pick whatever position you would like to have, and have this have us walking around Cologne the whole day, right?
Oh yes, it would be
or
possible.
to
Any location
Italy,
on
or
Earth
to
you want.
wherever. Mars is not on it yet. We will see what Starlink does. Okay. Yeah, well, that's actually it. So it's the idea of moving cargo to actually disturb the SOC team, to get them confused, or actually to make them not noticing where the cargo is actually going, and they're thinking it goes north, but actually it goes south. And we believe this is a tremendous attack vector for your cargo.
Yeah, I think you pointed out all the attack vectors of it, and the demo was successfully.
Yeah, it was. So 3 points, actually. Maybe the attack scenarios. We got these 2 minutes. So first of all, it looks like your cargo is on its way to its destination, but it's not. It goes the other direction. The other part was the truck is parked overnight. We haven't talked about that.
And the fixed GPS position there, say, okay, my cargo is on the rest area, but in reality, the shipment is stolen and moving around, and just pretended to be on the old position overnight there.
And the third one is particularly interesting. It's a little bit more difficult to do,
yeah.
but it's possible.
It's
and
possible.
It has been done before.
Yes. This kind of attacks are out there. GPS is known for this vulnerability. So this kind of attacks are there.
So the third one would actually be just to drive behind your truck, behind a truck or something with their own car, having a device like that, and we would actually manipulate the GPS system within the truck in a way that the system thinks that it's a little bit more left or right, and the navigation system will rearrange the routing. We'll say, okay, we need to go right. We need to leave the Autobahn now. So this could be a trigger too. So it's just a couple of meters behind the car. We got here. Depends on the antenna, right?
Depends on the antenna. With this one, it would be tricky, 5 meters here. But if I get a bigger antenna, more energy, maybe 10 meters, 50 meters are realistic. So yeah.
And can I just ask a question that's come in on the chat a bit about that, just before we wrap up the session? Somebody's asked, can GPS spoofing simulate a driving truck on a realistic route, so to incorporate the kind of usual highway route, the brakes, the peage, and if yes, how long can that be sort of sustained realistically?
How long this could be? As if there's my phone is coming this fake GPS signal, he's trying to maintain it. So when the GPS attack is started, I think there's no limit for.
It depends on the battery.
Depends on the battery and of course the distance. But yeah, we have tested it for like 10 to 20 minutes with no problem. So
it depends. It absolutely depends on the battery. How much energy have you left? So if we're thinking about where's the device placed, actually, in the third scenario, which is the most difficult one, I admit. But the first two, actually, just saying, okay, this one goes north, but it actually goes south. The first scenario I've been talking about all the time. This is just placing the device to the cargo, so it will be on board. You're taking it with you. And it will have a battery which is strong enough to last for weeks if you want to. That depends on the size of the battery.
And is there any technology that you recommend to protect GPS modules on trucks from being manipulated?
Actually, you had to use different kind of location services. For example, if you're using GPS on the one hand and the Galileo satellites on the other hand, spoofing becomes more difficult. Or you're using the mobile networks to detect, this signal might be spoofed because this cellular network says, we are in Berlin, but the GPS signal is coming from a totally different position. So you have to combine systems, and there are solutions out there, but I don't know if they're so widely adapted. Also in these small devices, in small tracking devices, it costs energy and it's becoming more difficult.
Yeah, and I would add there's much to software as well. The first part is the hardware aspect. So when you have more signals coming in, like what we said before, when you have Wi-Fi, which is not usual on the autobahn or somewhere, a little bit offside. When you have a cellular network and you have the GPS position, then you have GPS signal. You have 3 signals, and you combine those, and then it's you can kind of assess if the GPS signal is the right one or not, or if there's something going south here. And but this needs to be designed within the software you're using too, because if you just like the devices, which are quite often used, that you place on your cargo to know where your cargo is, which has GPS and cellular in it. The hardware part is okay. You can work with that, but GPS and cellular need to work together. So cellular needs to verify. It would be easy to see that we're not in Berlin from a cellular perspective. Cellular won't be able to make to identify us sitting right here, but it will absolutely be able to see if we're in Berlin or if we're in Düsseldorf. So this needs to be designed in the software. So you would need to check if your supplier does that.
Well, I think you've concluded there, I think.
Yes.
Great. Well, listen, thank you both so much for joining us. I'm sure everyone would like to join me in thanking you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.